On these type, definitely take your time on these ones. Now, you can go with the strategy that they mentioned in the lesson by saying, well, you can combine your negatives, but really I would only do that if the signs or all the operations are plus. But we do have some minus, specifically in the end there, the minus negative 99. That's the one we got to be careful about, in addition to just the minus 52. So I'm just going to work from this one directly from left to right. Yeah, so I would just focus on this first part right here. Now, generally you've seen that I would usually cover up the rest of it, but if we use this method with the little V's, hopefully that can kind of help. If you wanted to keep rewriting it, that's fine too though. So I got negative 154 plus negative 18. So the signs are the same, they're both negative, so I know my sum here will be a negative. Then we take the big number, 154, and add, since they're the same signs, we're adding the small number. 4 plus 8 in the ones place value is 12, carry the 1. In the tens place value, 1 plus 5 plus 1 is 7. And then drop the 1 in the hundreds place value, end up with negative 172. So this is what I mean by just kind of simplifying the work that we're doing here. So now I can see I'm working with negative 172 minus 52. Now, do you have to do that? No, you could rewrite the problem. Again, however you work it is really up to you. But it's kind of like the last problem we saw just between these two values. I have a negative 172, but I'm minusing something from it. So I'm going to have something that's more negative on this one. So I know my answer is a negative, but then I'm going to take the 172, and since I'm making it more negative, I would have to add the next value, 52. So in the ones place value, 2 plus 2 is 4. In the tens place value, 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1. In the hundreds place value, 1 and 1 is 2. So I end up with negative 224. And again, if you wanted to pull this stuff down, even at this point, or at any point, really, it's up to you. I, on the other hand, am just going to continue with this V stuff. Okay, so I have addition now, but the signs are opposites. And my negative number is bigger, so I know my answer will be a negative. So I'm going to take the bigger number, 224. They're opposite signs, so I'm subtracting the smaller number, 87. So right here, I'd have to make the 4 14 because it's too small for the 7. So I'll borrow from the 2 in the tens place value, make it a 1. 14 minus 7 is 7. And this next part right here, I would personally look at this as 21 minus 8. If you wanted to say, well, I'm going to borrow from the 2 and make it 11 minus 8, that's fine too. 11 minus 8, there's 3, and then drop the 1 in the hundreds place value. So negative 224 plus 87 ends up being negative 137. And now we got the minus negative 99. At this point, I definitely want to see the plus sign right there. Okay, so I really have negative 137 plus 99. And again, we have opposite signs. The negative is bigger, so my answer will be a negative. I'm going to take the big number, 137. They are opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract the smaller number, 99. So I got to borrow to make that a 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. Yep. And then again, I look at that as 12 minus 9 would be 38. So I end up with negative 38. Boom.